here at the Red Pill News Dispensary. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here because I'll tell you guys right now. Um, I was feeling kind of down after seeing President Trump give his farewell address. Although he still hasn't conceded to, he keeps saying, I don't know, if he's really conceding, just say Biden, so people aren't sitting around thinking, you know, that there's still hope, and the fact that he has to know at this point that people are thinking, well, he hasn't said the Biden administration. Maybe it's going to be, like he said, the next administration, because it wouldn't be Pence, it would be Flynn as the VP. So I still have about this much more hope. But that's not why we're here tonight. We're here tonight, and this is one of the reasons why I still have a little bit of hope. I know that tomorrow, there's going to be a lot more declassified items out of hopium. Exactly, the hopium. I still have this much more hopium, and you're going to find out why. Because I'll tell you guys, what I'm about to play for you will get me, most likely it's going to get my channel taken down. This is probably the most, the video that you don't want to touch on YouTube. Nobody's touched it on YouTube as far as at least the people I subscribe to. And I like to think I subscribe to pretty good channels. But screw it. It's worth it. If I'm going to go out, I want to go out with a bang. I'm going to play these videos. I don't care. I'll give you guys the short. Justice R.O.B. Roberts, along with who would have been president if not Trump in 2016. They never thought he would win. If he didn't win, who would win? Hillary. Along with the FBI and all these others, were planning some radical stuff. They were planning some crazy stuff. We're talking taking out judges. We're talking taking out, for instance, like here in Massachusetts, Martha Coakley, and a bunch of others. A whistleblower has come forward, and Trump's lawyer, Lynn Wood, who he's gotten a reputation as a crazy guy because he just says crazy stuff. But maybe he ain't so crazy. I mean, most of what he said has come true, except for the grand finale, right? But it ain't over yet, I guess, right? And the reason I'm even still saying that is because these videos are so compelling. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, we've exposed Justice Roberts. This wasn't his plan. This seems to be the plan of an incoming administration if Trump lost. And by the way, I'm just kind of like talking it up because I'm trying to get people in here. Because seriously, this might be my last. Oh, great! This might be my last video, but I'm about to play it soon here. This is crazy, guys. What I'm about to play for you guys is crazy. All right. Exactly, Dean. Some of the people that thought it was crazy might not be so crazy, especially after you hear this. So I'm gonna get right into it. I don't want too much dead time. Oh, Amanda, I'm doing a video.
I'm like,
yo, you should hear this, Amanda. I had to go live. I don't care. I'm definitely gonna get my channel taken down.
shut up.
No, seriously. This is
What
like,
is it?
huh?
So what is it?
Oh, I'll play it for you after. It's so crazy. All right, guys, please.
You're gonna pass me the cigarettes? Okay.
Yeah. Are you a doggy?
She's pretending to be a dog, and I'm pretending to be.
You a bitch.
Yeah. I'm pretending to be a dog.
All right.
Olivia! Olivia.
Olivia.
Come on. We out
Fetch.
there.
All right. My daughter's now a dog. All right, ready, guys? You ready for this? I said my daughter's now a dog. Jokingly.
I thought you said a dog and a dog. I'm like, what?
Oh, so your daughter can be called a dog,
She can
but
be
not
the
you.
dog, not me.
Okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna play this. This is crazy. This is so crazy. So, just to paint it for you, this is a whistleblower who was in on all these plots, but he blew the whistle as soon as stuff started really getting it started getting real crazy. So check this out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. So there's 5 parts, and it gets crazier and crazier. All right, this is a whistleblower. They bleep out his face. You can hear his voice. You be the judge. I say this is legit, 100%. And you know that isn't hopium. You be the judge. Here we go. Red pill dispensary. This might be my last video.
Epstein and Supreme Court Justice Roberts initially would have met,
Can you guys hear
or how that relationship would have developed.
How they would have met. I think he met when he was under Bush, not too long after he was appointed, somewhere along there, just a basic.
Thank you, AJ.
Powerful people, something like that. He did help him with his adopted children, from what was said there and what was, discussed openly in this little dirty trick squad. The children are not genetically brother and sister, but they're raised that way, so that's more valuable to them. One, if not both, were originally from Wales, but they were in the Epstein channels and were easily removed from
Epstein
their version of
channel.
foster care to Ireland, which has much more open adoption type records. And he facilitated this for Robert so he could adopt them both at the same time. There's a little gap, but it was just paperwork. And that was him.
I bet
Epstein had done that for him. So they met, they'd worked out, and he was doing favors at some point.
Was this something Supreme Court Justice Roberts would have paid for, or is this a favor exchange to Epstein to link up with these children? Or
I don't know at that point. It's possible it could be either one. I don't think there would be a payment at that point. It's more for his position. There would be something in fact of favor, but I don't know either one that was done. He facilitated it. Was there payment? Was it favor? I can't say.
Okay. Can you go into any more details on Supreme Court Justice Roberts with these children and the circles that he ran in, as far as you're aware?
Children are often used as a commodity, a way to buy yourself into certain inner circles. And these people are all wealthy, they're all powerful, and they don't trust.
By the way, let me know if it starts getting choppy. They start centering it and it starts buffering.
Unless you're as compromised as they are. So you provide children to them. Your children, adopted children, whatever. This is how they trust you. You're as dirty as they are. You cannot be exposed because you can't expose them. They can't expose you. If everybody's just as dirty, you're safe.
If everyone's
And
just
this
as
is
dirty,
a way
no
for them to
problem.
buy their way into these inner circles and get access to whatever. The children are the payment and the dirt and the control.
Now, who else would we want to talk to, or is there any additional documentation that we could pursue to solidify?
By the way, I believe Lynn Wood is
FBI has
interviewing
copies
him.
of the videos. Of
Trump's
the ISIS
lawyer.
surveillance. It was discussed, but I can't prove it, that Roberts had a copy. Rod Rosenstein certainly has a copy. Sean Henry of CrowdStrike, who was FBI at the time, he took 2 copies back to FBI with him. So the copies were made, and then it was actually Sean Bridges who encrypted them and gave him the keys.
All right, so far, let me get that. So far, what we have is what he's basically saying is that Justice Roberts, his adopted children, were given to him through Epstein so that he could get in with the cabal, because like we all know, they won't accept you into their club unless you're as dirty as them. And obviously, he did some horrific acts with these poor children, these poor things. It's disgusting, but that's why this is so powerful. If it means losing my channel, fuck it. Here we go, part 2.
Gave him the keys. So there are copies out there.
And who would be on these tapes, most likely, as far as from your conversations in
Who would be on the
Chicken
tape?
Lab?
From just those tapes, I was talking about the copies.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Roberts, or excuse me, those would be Pence.
Mike Pence.
Two lovers and the younger ones.
With
There
two
were also,
lovers
they
and
would
the
do
younger
the same
ones.
thing, illegal surveillance, or sometimes vice versa. This was mostly in the country, illegal surveillance with Robert's children.
No wonder his wife got him on the chain like that.
And whomever they were with, they'd set it up. They knew that they weren't going to be exposed because these Chief Justice Roberts' children. And please keep in mind that these children have been abused since birth.
Pence knew he wouldn't get in trouble because it's Robert's children. You know, I mean, we're safer than, you know, like of all the Supreme Court, Roberts is considered like the top guy, you know, since Scalia's been gone. Which, by the way, we're gonna hear about that pretty soon here. So this is crazy, guys. This is like hard hitting stuff, and you know, it's like anyone can fake a video, but this is Trump's lawyer who put this out, and I know he has a reputation of being wacky. Except what he's been saying has come true, except for the, you know, the money shot, the grand finale, right? But like I said, a little bit of hopium, as someone said, and it ain't over yet. I know that, you know, the 17 drops, they always said, you know, the president will be insulated. So, all right. So I just wanted you guys to, I hope you guys are hearing this well. Yeah, so, what did Diane say? Yeah, right? They're definitely legit. Definitely legit.
And don't want anything else happening. They've already lived through hell. They don't need anything else. But they were, again, loaned out for these different groups, and they did surveil many of them.
Now, you also have said in past discussions that there was a plot that Roberts was allegedly a part of, where they discussed murdering other judges on the Supreme Court under a Hillary Clinton administration. Can you give me some amplifying details on that?
This is something the FBI had set up under their guidance from the political people. Going to be a false flag. This has gone out 2 years almost before the election. And it was a sovereign citizen group. Obama did not want any terrorism unless it was white terrorism. So this is a sovereign citizen group that the FBI had infiltrated.
Dean, no, not at the time.
Instigated against other targets. They were, for the most part, pro-America, but they were racist in some of their origins. They were, a lot of them were divorce fathers with a grudge against the court system anyway, and the FBI people had infiltrated and exploited this. They moved them up to the level of assassinating federal judges.
But what I will say, Dean, is that this guy, honestly, he sounds legit. What he says makes sense. He knows like the inner workings of what's going on. It definitely seems like that. But you know what? There's a lot of good bullshitters out there, right? Yet, who is putting this out? And I'm pretty sure this is the same person that's that's doing this interview, and that is Trump's personal lawyer, Lynn Wood. And I know he's got a reputation for being a little bit crazy, except all that crazy, wonky stuff he said has come true, except for, like I said, the grand finale. So, you know, I know that there's, they did a D class. I thought it was going to be the big one, but it wasn't. It was just the beginning of it. It was just that first set of documents, and then now there's supposed to be a real big D class tomorrow. That's the word. That's the word from Papadopoulos and people who have stuff to lose. Um, so I'm fairly confident tomorrow's the going to be the big D class. Also, I haven't seen anything about the pardons. My accent. Pardons. The pardons. There's supposed to be 100 pardons today. I don't. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. And by the way, I'm on purpose, kind of. If you're like, why didn't you play the video? I'm on purpose, kind of doing like that. If you're just joining us, rewind. You don't have to hear me talk at the beginning. Just rewind to the first part of the first video. When this is all over, we'll just talk for a little bit and give people a chance to watch them. Because I'll tell you right now, when I go to publish, this is not going to publish. This will not publish. When I go to publish, they're going to be like, yeah, channel gone. So this channel is going to be gone over this. That's how confident I am. If you put any stock in, what Red Pill thinks, Matt thinks, this is legit. This is totally legit. The source is the president's personal lawyer, who's been right about everything. The only thing he hasn't been right about is technically yet to be known, right? I mean, we still have until noon tomorrow, supposedly. So we'll see. I don't see it. I just don't. But then again, you look red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4. They're all lining up. It's just what I hear out of the president in his farewell address doesn't match. Except all he keeps saying is new administration. Well, technically, a new administration would be him and Flynn, especially if this is true, what we just heard in this video about Pence, right? We just heard, I mean, whoever this guy is, he's facing some serious shit. Telling the president's personal lawyer all this BS if he's lying. I don't think he's lying. You can almost tell he's not lying. So, and by the way, if you guys want to see if I'm on any other platforms or anything like that, the best way is instead of Red Pill Dispensary on Twitter, it's Red Pill Dispenser. Instead of dispensary, it's dispenser. And I'll put that's actually also the channel that I have right now. If you guys put in Red Pill Dispenser, you'll find me that way on YouTube. That's like my backup channel that I never really promoted, so it's like nobody on it. But if this gets taken down, that's the way to go. And I'll do some reminders on my Twitter, which is Red Pill Dispenser as well, instead of dispensary, dispenser. All right, so we'll continue.
Political people, things like that. You want the names? I can tell you. So anyway, part of their plot was various types of attacks on the Supreme Court to take out as many judges as they could. Roberts was aware of this. He actually provided some scheduling. So apparently the justices are not all there at one time. They come and go as they please. And these three will be working on something, these three. And he provided this to the group so they could finalize their plans. They were very, very close in what they were trying to do. They were getting the explosives, all types of automatic weapons. They had rocket launchers. And they were very close to it. They were going to assassinate Captain sailors, a federal judge in Massachusetts, Martha Coakley, Lisa Monaco and her family. They were going to make that look like a home invasion and film it until later when they needed it. And this was their initial attack plan, and then this.
So you heard that right there. Basically, he's laying out what the attack plan was. He's gonna get further into it, so I don't want to spoil it. He's gonna get further into it. But yeah, AJ, Anthony Patch. He almost looks like Anthony Patch through the blur, right? That's funny. All right. Anthony Patch is great, by the way.
And this was their initial attack plan, and then the Supreme Court This was a group I had infiltrated on their request. And when I found out what they were doing, that they were going to attack these judges, when they were going to attack the Supreme Court, I tried to end run them. I had minders, people kept tabs on me. I had FBI minders, but I tried to end run them and expose it. And I took all the evidence. I went to Homeland Security, who were overwhelmed and called in the FBI. And then the DOJ came right back on me, and they picked me up just a few weeks later when they found out who I was. And the damage to their plots had been done. They did get close to assassinating people up there. Lisa Monaco, the judge, were under 24/7 security. Martha Coakley had in-state security. And they did prevent them from going after the Supreme Court, although their plans were all out. They had the maps, they had the weapons, they had everything planned. So at least it prevented something like that.
Now, were the teams that were supposed to do the actual operation?
Did you see iPad Go 3, Kelly? So he's saying other teams are supposed to do the operations. And I'm sorry, I cut it off at a bad time. Here we go.
Against the judges, were those Americans or were
they Americans?
No, these are Americans. So a third would be the sovereign citizen group, and 2/3 would be FBI people, or people working with the FBI. They were going to get rid of them anyway. They actually had recordings of
they were going to get rid of them anyway.
On the phone with me as part of this group, and then they did not hang up the phone. They did not kill the phone, and we were listening to them talk about killing me and my wife, things like that. And another time they actually butt dialed me, and we're talking on the phone.
Warrior B, along with much more.
About their plans, about who they're going after, and what they were going to do to us because we knew too much and we were outside at the time. So they could not do their plan. We got the people under surveillance. We saved them. I was given credit for saving them. They were very upset that their plans had gone. The crowd were very upset with me, especially when they came and picked me up. But it stopped it. Their plans were written out. They had maps, they had surveillance, they had quite a bit of equipment.
What was the timeline that they were hoping to do this in?
This would be right after the first year of Hillary Clinton's presidency. She was not supposed to lose.
Warrior B. I don't know, Warrior B. What was your original name? Because you're a mod, but I don't recognize you. Warrior B. So you must be someone that I know very well. You must change your name. But it would be, right-leaning judges. The plan was to, abolish Second Amendment, get that done, whether it meant packing the court or, giving the court some flack,
So this was all planned up, and it was more than just that. It was twofold. They wanted to pack the court. They would take out as many as they could. Roberts was actually helping because he didn't want to be one of them, and he wanted some choice in who would be on the.
Roberts was helping because they didn't want to be one of them.
And after that, he wanted to maintain some form of
Gave
control.
up his adopted children.
So he did
that he got from Epstein. If you heard part one.
It was supposed to be done within the first year of Hillary Clinton's campaign.
If you're just joining us, feel free to go back to part one. Because at the end of these, I think it's 5 parts, I'm just going to chat a little bit with you guys, knowing this is most likely my last video. I'll be chatting with you guys, and that's also a way for people to go back and watch from part 1 forward. All right.
So that they could ban firearms as well, but and pack court. So they had plenty of time to do that. That was their 2 main goals.
Do you believe the death of Anton Scalia was a part of this same plot, or is that? Do you know if that was a separate?
It was the same people. He was a backup plan. He was their biggest.
So he was saying he was probably their biggest adversary. He was part of their plan. All right, so part 4. I haven't even heard part 5 yet. After hearing 1 through 4, I was like, I need to go live. I need to go live with this. Because I feel confident in this. I feel very confident in this. So here's the message here. Justice Scalia learned of the plan to Kill, members of the judiciary. He reported it to the White House. Shortly thereafter, the aforementioned justice was murdered. I don't even know why I'm censoring it all. I'm telling you, this video is not gonna push, and they're gonna take down this channel with the way things are. But hey, this is a good way to go. I feel confident in this. This is Trump's personal attorney. I feel confident about putting this out. All right, here we go. Part 4, I believe. I haven't listened to part 5, so I don't know if that's like another one. If that's like, you know, part 1 again. Huh. Yeah. The howl. All right. Here we go.
It's the same people. He was a backup plan.
Wow.
He was their biggest threat, being the most conservative justice. Justice Scalia, actually, I believe he found out about this, the plans. He went to the White House like a week before his death. I believe he found out what they were trying to do. When they moved away from the overall attack of where these people lived, or they would attack around the holidays when more than one justice would be in their home, things like this. And again, Roberts was providing this, but they had to take him out. He was seen as their biggest obstacle. So the same basic group that was involved were given access to the ranch where he was found. They talked about how they did it. They had a couple different options, but it was discussed prior to his death what they intended to do, where they could possibly do it, how they could do it, who they would need. The records are there at the Cibolo Ranch. One person was brought in there was 3 men. One person was brought in as a tent worker. The other 2, same team, were brought in as servants from a group that was there hunting. And they discussed how it was done, that they used DIMSO, dimethyl suboxide, which is a fairly inert chemical, just goes through your skin. But if you mix it with a poison or a drug or something like that, it'll go directly into your system and overload you. I believe that's why he was found with the pillow over his face. He was struggling to breathe. He couldn't breathe, he was choking. And this particular chemical you can tailor to the person. If they have a drug problem, you can put...
Hey, calm down out there.
Overdose them. If they have a heart condition, it take very little to go directly in. It'd be like a direct injection into the heart. And they talked about how they did it. And Roberts is on the phone with these people discussing the successor. And he wanted a say in it because now it was only going to be one person. He wanted to pick that person. And he wanted a say in who was going to take it. And of course, there was a lot of people that were talking about Eric Holder taking it, all kinds of people. But he wanted a say in who was going to take over Justice Scalia's spot. And I don't think he got it. I mean, obviously it didn't happen because President Trump was here. But he did want it. And this was all prior to discussions and him complaining that he wasn't getting any say prior to his death, his sudden death. So it was well known. And
so aside from Roberts being waiting on this, did Rosenstein or anyone outside of the White House, had they been made aware of the plans, perhaps in Hillary's camp, that you could speak about?
Oh, Hillary and Obama knew about it. I mean, it was supposed to be done under her watch, her first term, so that they could back the court. They were fully aware of it. Rod has an intense hatred of Hillary, even though he worked with him. He had to. He's not fond of Obama, really. He's only fond of himself.
I'll play it for you after.
But this was plans that they enacted through them, and Rod was integral in running the Hammer system through Baltimore.
It is shady. I'll play it. I'll show you
Just tell
after.
me who it is.
Roberts, Pence,
A Pence?
fucking kids,
Brother
setting
or
up
something?
murders.
Or kid? Some Pence's.
All right, part 5.
Oh man.
I think
Oh,
part 5. I haven't played this one yet.
Oh, that sounds brutal. Brutal.
Epstein and
This one's louder.
Supreme Court Justice Roberts initially would have met, or how that relationship would have developed?
How they would have met. I think he met when he was under Bush, not too long after he was appointed. somewhere along there, just a basic meeting powerful people, something like that. He did help him with his adopted children. From what was said there and what was, discussed openly in this little dirty trick squad, the children are not genetically brother and sister, but they're raised that way, so that's more valuable to them. And one, if not both, were originally from Wales, but they were in the Epstein channels.
Oh, this is, you know what? So the last one must have been the last one. This is all the parts together.
Adoption.
I just realized that.
Records.
Hey, did I forget the charger?
Robert, so you could adopt them both at the same time.
Did you?
There's a little gap, but it was just paperwork. And that was it. Epstein had
And
done
of
that
course,
for
it
him.
seems nice and loud.
So they met, they'd worked out, and he was doing favors at some point.
Was this something Supreme Court Justice Roberts would have paid for, or is this a favor exchange to Epstein to link up with these children, or?
I don't know at that point. It's possible it could be either one. I don't think there would be a payment at that point. It's more for his position. There would be something in type of favor. But I don't know either one that was done. He facilitated it. Was there payment? Was it favor? I can't say.
Okay.
So this is the same thing we heard. This is part one, playing from the beginning. But you know what? I'm gonna run out of battery, and I can't find a charger. I want to make sure I at least attempt to publish this. I know this isn't gonna publish. Oh.